The forest outside remained silent, a frozen wilderness untouched by time. The heavy snowfall continued to blanket the old house, hiding its sinister secrets beneath a white shroud. From the outside, it was a mere silhouette against the night sky, but within its walls, the air was thick with despair and lost souls. Emily's plight in the house was far from over. As the ghostly children surrounded her, their hollow eyes fixated on her with an unsettling mix of longing and sadness, the temperature in the room seemed to drop even further. The large cracked mirror reflected not only the frightened child but also the encroaching spirits, their spectral forms writhing and distorting with each movement. The ghosts, though appearing to be children, bore the marks of sorrowful decades. Their clothes were tattered remnants of an era long past, and their faces were etched with expressions of longing and tragedy. They reached out with translucent hands, their touch as cold as the winter's breath. Emily's terror reached its peak as she found herself unable to move, as if paralyzed by fear. Her eyes darted around the room, seeking any means of escape, but every corner seemed to grow darker and more oppressive. The toys around her, a wooden rocking horse, a collection of faded dolls, and a broken train set seemed to come alive in the dim light, their once innocent appearances now twisted by the malevolent energy of the house. In the mirror, Emily noticed a new reflection, her own eyes, wide with fright, but also something else, an unsettling recognition. The ghosts' faces mirrored her own fear, but also something more sinister. They were trapped in their own sorrow, their souls forever bound to this cursed place, and they sought to pass on their torment to her. A sudden burst of wind slammed against the window panes, rattling them violently. The ghostly figures momentarily recoiled, their whispers growing fainter. Emily seized this fleeting opportunity and, with a surge of adrenaline, reached for the mirror's cracked surface. Her fingers touched the cold glass, and the mirror seemed to shudder in response. As if in a desperate plea for help, Emily whispered to the mirror, "Please, let me go." To her astonishment, the mirror's surface rippled like water, and the ghosts, momentarily disoriented, began to wail in a mournful, otherworldly chorus. The sound filled the room, growing louder and more chaotic. The toys around her rattled and moved of their own accord, as if agitated by the spectral disturbance. Emily, seizing the moment of chaos, dashed towards the mirror. As she touched it, a blinding flash of light erupted, filling the room with a brilliant, searing glow. The ghostly figures screamed in agony, their forms disintegrating into wisps of ethereal smoke. When the light subsided, Emily found herself alone in the room. The mirror, now whole and undamaged, reflected her weary but relieved face. The oppressive weight of the house seemed to lift, and the temperature gradually warmed. The door to the room creaked open, revealing the empty, silent hallway. Emily stepped out cautiously, her heart still racing, but she found that the house had become eerily quiet. She hurried through the once threatening corridors, finally finding the front door ajar, the snow outside untouched by any further disturbance. Emily fled from the house in the forest, her breaths visible in the cold night air. As she emerged into the relative safety of the forest edge, she looked back once more. The old house stood there, its sinister presence still palpable, but the ghost's whispers had vanished. She was found by a search party hours later, shaken but unharmed. The forest, though still dark and foreboding, no longer seemed to hold the same menacing grip. The house remained behind her, a silent testament to the haunting experience, forever a place of sorrow and lost souls. Emily would never forget that night, and the whispers of the ghostly children would echo in her dreams for years to come. But in her escape, she had uncovered a glimmer of hope that even in the darkest of places, there could be a chance for release, and a way out of the grip of eternal torment. The old house, now a distant echo in her past, became a part of Emily's story, a haunting but ultimately transformative chapter that forged her into a stronger, more resilient individual. And though she would never forget the chilling whispers of that winter night, she carried forward the lesson that even in the darkest corners, there is always a glimmer of hope and a way to break free. Hope you enjoyed the story. Like, follow and subscribe to my channel for more interesting contents like this. Thanks for watching.